Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Shady again. It's probably been a while since you've seen me. I think my last posting was September 16th, 2011. Today is Monday, November 7th, 2011. So it's almost about 2 months or just shy of 2 months. So I figured I would do another update and let you know what's going on. See, I had my sleeve gastrectomy on, let's see, August 18th, 2011. And last week I did follow up with my surgeon, last Wednesday. I did follow up with my surgeon, and I'm down to 269, down from a high of 342 roughly the day that I was wheeled into surgery. Um, a lot of that weight that's come off has really been through modification of diet, and obviously limitations of eating. Um, Very little exercise. There is some involved. I mean, I am walking more, but it's more about kind of really modifying the diet, and there is only so much that I can eat. Trying to stay with 3 small meals per day, where I'm actually able to really kind of do now when I'm eating enough at breakfast, and I'm able to make it over to lunch and eating a good amount of lunch and then making it to dinner. Um, One thing that I've been doing is having some scrambled eggs in the morning with some grits. It's been working out pretty well, no major conflicts with that. And for lunch, I'm getting the Campbell's cup of soup. I don't have any with me right now. Usually they're about 100 calories, and it's just a regular sized cup of soup. I probably when I was bigger, I probably could look at that and eat 2 or 3 of those, but now the one actually does a pretty good job. And then for dinner, what I'm doing now, and I do have one of those here, is a lean cuisine, very similar to this one. That's actually been very, very good. I mean, not necessarily this kind. You can get any kind. I did run it by the nutritionist. She did say it's probably fine. Um, there's 6 grams of fat, which is okay. 300 calories. There's some that are almost down to 210 calories. 3 grams of fiber. Um, One of the most important things is clearly it's going to have high sodium. This is, flash freezed or whatever. Carbs are kind of high, but 5 grams of sugar. So as far as a dinner, these have been doing relatively well for me. Now that I'm really kind of on solid foods and doing it regularly. They're a little bit costly. I mean, I'm sure they're $3, $4 depending on where you go. But as far as having a meal that's already set, you know what you're going to eat, it's not a bad way to start. Um, I think since my last update, as far as things that have been going on, um, really been kind of adjusting to the attention. I mean, a lot of people at work have noticed, John, you've lost a lot of weight, and, obviously the clothes in which I'm wearing. I went from a 46 and I'm down to about a 38. 38's are a little tight, but I'd probably say maybe a 39. People in the hallway and people in general, just in passing. In the population in which I work with, I see clients from time to time, and one client today in particular hadn't seen me since July, and that was pre-surgery. And it said I lost a lot of weight. The attention I think is great, but sometimes I'm almost very taken back by it. I want to kind of say, well, gee, what did I look like before? Or was I a monster before? So it's being able to take the compliments in moderation and, kind of just saying, well, I'm living a new lifestyle now. A lot of people have been very supportive, very understanding. Um, so I think that's one thing that's been beneficial throughout this process, at least I think, is just the support that I've had from others. The other thing on the behavioral front that I really do want to address with this particular webcam or this particular journal is really avoiding stress. And maybe one reason why it's taken me so long to post is because I've been under stress. I have been working more and also been job hunting more as well. Um, it's hard to stay away from stress depending on what job you do. It doesn't really matter if you're a bus driver, if you're a psychologist, or if you're a heart surgeon. I mean, there's still going to be a certain amount of stress that you have. It's hard to avoid it. Um, One thing I would probably tend to do is putting it in a box. We know that this is your stress. We know that this is what gets you stressed. And finding other things that can avoid those stressful situations, whatever they may be. Certainly picking up hobbies, and certainly, obviously weight training as well as physical fitness is going to be important. So those things are really trying to keep track of stressful events and stuff that does make you stressful. I don't have any Lorenzo's oil of exactly what you should do, but just trying to avoid that stress is going to be important. Allow yourself plenty of breaks if your job allows for that. Continue to keep on drinking fluids because that's going to obviously be important too as well. Um, but avoiding the stress is going to be kind of important because for a lot of morbidly obese people, a lot of our weight concerns are induced by stress, emotional eating, etc. And you certainly don't want to have the surgery, whether you have gastric bypass or the sleeve, and you know, obviously gain the weight back or not really make any progress. That's the other factor. So avoiding stress is going to be the number one key component, especially when you're going back to work. We're going into the holiday season for me. This is going to be my first, after having the sleeve. So it will be interesting. I got Thanksgiving coming up in about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Christmas coming up in 7, 8 weeks, or actually 7 weeks. So there's going to be a lot of ups and downs with it. And I'm pretty sure I will probably eat stuff that I probably shouldn't. However, hopefully I'll do it in moderation and, know that this is a one-time thing or just for the holiday or whatever it may be. But as far as portion control, I'm eating a relatively small portion, so a small portion of something that I enjoy, such as sweets, may be fine. Um, Everything else is going well. Definitely buying more clothes. Clearly went from almost a 5X down to maybe a 1X now. I probably hope to kind of be down under maybe 240 by February. That sounds like a pretty good plan, and I think that I should be able to accomplish that goal. Um, Definitely want to thank people that have signed up that are listening to me kind of go over this as I do from time to time. Hopefully, it won't take me another month to actually to do another one. I probably would try to do it in maybe a month. That would be early December, so I can let you know how Thanksgiving went. But so far, so good. I'm happy with the results. Still keeping a food journal, and things are going well. If you have any comments, just leave them down below, and I'll get to them. Thanks.